Magic: The Gathering Arena tonight. So, for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, on this channel, I like to play some Magic Arena. Usually play a few different decks. Oh, I'm gonna fix my system sound again here. Pardon me for 1 second. But play some decks and discuss different lines of play. Discuss mistakes that we make, things that we think we could do better, things like that. And yeah, just have a good time, learn a little bit about Magic because, as Day 9 used to say on the Day 9 Daily, we are not the best, but we're definitely not the worst. And there's always more that you can learn about a game as intricate as Magic: The Gathering. So, we last time we did the Singleton event, which is now over. So today I was thinking we would jump back in to just some traditional, probably do some best of three, do some sideboarding, talk about that for a while. So I'm going to start off with the Dimir control deck, the blue-black control deck. It's pronounced Tome, because we've made a few changes since last time, and I just figured I'd bring those up right now. So if you remember last time we had some Discovery Dispersal in here, that was just because I didn't have the two Search for Azcanta yet. I hadn't forged them, but I opened some more packs, got some more wild cards, and now we've got the two in here. And as you can imagine, this has been a fantastic card every time it's come down. We also ended up switching in a couple of Ob Nixilis's Cruelties over what used to be Cast Down. A little more expensive, but we do have a lot of interaction in the 2 slot, and the it just seems like there's so many legendaries running around here that having just Legion's End, Tyrant's Scorn, this stuff that only deals with small creatures, and then doubling down on that by having Cast Down, which can't hit, it's not hitting Feather, it's not hitting Kefnet. It felt like this was a nice substitute. Also, we had one Ritual of Soot sideboard. Brought that into the main deck just because it felt like we could use one more sweeper, and this hits a lot of things that Cry doesn't hit, namely basically everything in the Feather deck. Although they can get around it if they have Sheltering Light, but I've been seeing less of that lately. So this gets around the Protection Clause of God's Willing in the Feather deck. Just because this neither targets nor damages creatures, and protection protects against, the acronym is DET, so damage, equipping or enchanting, blocking, and targeting, and this does none of those things, so it can kill through that spell. I also mixed up our threats a little bit. We used to have 2 Cavalier of Gales, 1 Cavalier of Night. I found that the Cavalier of Night will good. I really didn't get to activate the sacrifice effect to destroy an opponent's creature, because we only have a few creatures in here and it's really just Tomebound Lich. When I was playing around before I started doing videos with Augur of Bolas, it was a lot better because I had a few extra targets to sacrifice. So I ended up going down to 1 Cavalier of Gales, 1 Doom Whisperer, which I'm not 100% sold on. This might become another Cavalier of Gales, but I wanted to try a little bit more because it's actually, in those times when you draw both, I feel much better having 1 of each than 2 Cavalier. And then 1 Enter the God Eternals here, which I used to have in the sideboard, but I've brought into the main deck now. It's a threat that we can find off of Narset and Search for Azcanta, so that's a really big deal, giving us a total of 3 instead of just the 2 that we had before. This really feels like a meta call in a lot of ways to me, but it's a there's just an awful lot of decks where 4 damage and getting a 4/4 and then the 4 life gain is really great. And also of note, this does trigger off of God Eternal Kefnet, so it is the one threat in the deck that you can trigger Kefnet with. And of course you can do cool things like get Kefnet out, play Cavalier of Gales, brainstorm this to the top next turn, Kefnet, free enter the God Eternals, cast it again, get an 8/8, cool stuff like that. Sideboard is pretty up in the air right now. Got the second God Eternals here. Oh yeah, we did bring in 1, I believe I went on 1 Tomebound Lich to bring in the Drawn from Dreams as well. This is another hit off of Azcanta and Narset, and because, you could go, I could see like 4 Narset, 0 Drawn from Dreams main deck, but Drawn from Dreams is very powerful even though it's too slow for a lot of matchups. And in those cases where I have had hands, even with 3 Narsets, where you have all 3 Narsets in your opening hand, and having a situation where you have a couple Narsets and a Drawn from Dreams, I feel like is a lot stronger than just having having no Drawn from Dreams and an extra Narset. So diversifying in there Feels good to me. I would also like to go up to 3 or 4 Legion's End in the 75. Almost definitely 4 in the 75, probably 3 in the main deck. But again, as you can see, 0 rare wild cards right now, so we're going to hold off on that for a little bit, hopefully get those forged in the near future. So anyway, got the second run from Dreams, enter the God Eternals in the sideboard, Unmoored Ego for those combo decks, Scape Shift, things like that, or really threat light decks. Third up next, this is Cruelty, Cry the Carnarium. I had one extra spot in here, so I threw in a Mu Yanling Skydancer, and actually had one really good game with her where the +2 was it was against Rakdos Aristocrats, and we blanked their early plays. They had the 2-1 that reanimates, Rattlebones, in play that she blanked. The 4/4 they couldn't attack into, and it was quite a beating. It was fun to watch. I don't know if that's going to be a consistent performance, but maybe we'll figure that out today. Hard to tell probably with just the one, but also, you know, having something that actually pressures the board at the 3-drop slot, you know, you could do worse than that. So anyway, let's stop talking and start playing. There we go. Well, this is booting up. I'm just gonna see if I can check our unified chat here. There it is. Now, this is going to bring up the wrong browser, but I don't think you'll see any of that. So, yeah, looks like we're good. All right, so we'll close out all this and get back to Magic. I really like this hand. I feel like Thought Erasure on 2 is, especially on the play, is probably the most powerful thing this deck can do. Oh, we're on the draw. Sorry, my mistake. Still really good. It looks like we might end up getting Thought Erasure first, which will be a sad time. Nope. Okay, cool. Make sure we get down the black source. Negate. Veto. Even better than negate. I guess the only thing better than Thought Erasure is going first. Okay, main deck Rule of Law. Well, on the bright side, our deck doesn't usually cast more than one card per turn until very late in the game. On the bad side, oops, oh, geez, that was... Alright, chat. So y'all know, if you drag the card, you have to if you drag any card in your hand around when you have a Tomebound Lich activation on the stack, apparently you'll discard it. I'm gonna give him the, I'm not gonna give him the oops there. The time has passed. The time has passed for the oops, chat. Well, I drew a 4th land like we had it all along. That's nice. We have no relevant plays here, so we will just pass the turn. Okay, so my guess is that this Rule of Law is supposed to jank us out somehow. Oh, well, that's really bad for us. It resolves. We can bounce it with Tyrant Scorn, of course, but that is terrible. Enter the God Eternals does not kill it. Liliana is probably our best bet, but the fact that they just tapped out, went shields down, and we really have no way of... Why isn't this lighting up? Oh, right, because the Ixalan's binding, our previous one. And we have no relevant thing we could cast is really bad, because they just get that for free, and now they have Counterspell Magic up again, and we're missing land drops because we accidentally discarded a swamp when we didn't want to. At least we have to get their Teferi there, but yeah, I think that... well, we couldn't have cast this anyways because we would need a 3rd blue source, so we're not getting too hosed. Now that Ixalan's binding on Tomebound Lich is a huge pain. Oops. I mean, at some point we're just going to have to bounce this, and they're going to brainstorm, and it'll feel terrible. Oh. Speak of Mu Yanling, and there she is. Well, can't do anything about her on the stack. She's just going to roll up. We have no interaction for her. Well, we found the 5th land. Does this just get counterspelled? It does not. Okay, well, we have a game now, maybe. We're going to put back the Tomebound Lich because we can't cast it. We're also going to put back probably Cry the Carnarium because I can't see that doing anything at all in this match. Keep the Cry on top because at least it's castable. Being able to have hit Liliana that turn would have felt pretty good.
Challenge a raging river.
That was a good... Oh, right. Yeah, we lose flying. That's pretty good. Hopefully they'll tap out and we can Liliana here. Oh, well, no tap out, but... this should be... Oh, it loses flying until their next turn, right. So it is still not flying. So we have two choices here. We can Kefnet with Tyrant Scorn and Negate backup. But I think we just have to kill this thing because our Cavalier of Gales or our Kefnet... Their Moo is just gonna... Yeah. We'll try it. If we play out the Kefnet, we're just playing not to lose, and we'll probably lose anyways, so yeah, there we go. Good game. They would have countered that anyways. We'll just give it the scoop. I feel like not discarding that land would have been really, really nice for us, so we'll try to remember that in the future, that I compulsively organize my cards in my hand, as you've probably noticed, and maybe don't do that when you have a discard effect on the stack. That would probably be really smart. Alright, there's our unified chat. Cool. We do indeed go first this time. This is a really slow hand. I would love to have like a Search for Azcanta or a Thought Erasure here, but I'm going to keep it. We've got all of our colors. We've got spot removal, we've got a board wipe, we've got a threat, we've got filter. I'm not going to bluff negate or anything. I'm just going to put this down tapped because opponent led on mountain. So I expect we're going to get some burn thrown our way here, and I would really prefer not to have to shock anything in. Oh, okay. So Rickbound Crag. So not red deck wins. When their hand lit up there, this... Ooh, okay. So we're on Naya Feather here, almost certainly. Cry of the Carnarium is not great for us there. It pretty much... Well, it can kill Adanto Vanguard, but I don't think that Naya runs Adanto that often. I'm going to... Yeah, I don't think that there's really any targets in that deck for Cry, and I would rather keep hitting land drops here for when we get to our top end. So I'm going to get rid of that. If they do have Adanto, then we're really sad. And this may not even be Feather. We haven't seen white mana yet. Okay, there we go. Yep, 10th District Legionnaire. So that you can Cry, but they target it with a spell. It gets +1/+1 counter, and then you're really sad. So they might go, yep, Reckless Rage here. Bust their guy. And they kill our Tomebound Lich, but we can Ob's Cruelty it here. I like that more than Kefnet, even though Kefnet's more mana efficient. Although it might... Now that we have Ugin, it might actually be right to hold this for a moment. But Ugin can also kill other things, so yeah, I'm just going to kill this while their shields are down. That's really important against this deck because they have so much protection. And every time they cast protection on 10th District Legionnaire, they're getting lots of value because they're getting the activation off that, they're getting the Seasons of Growth activation. Alright, there's the Feather, so we can throw down a Kefnet. Probably not block because blocking a 3/4 with 3/4 Feather with Kefnet sounds like a great way to get blown out. But at least this fields something. It might give us card advantage, it might give us mana advantage. It might just get killed immediately, but I don't think they can... they're green, so they probably have... they're just shocking their own Feather for the value. Well, that's a nice part of Season of Growth. Generally, I find that Boros... I've never played as Feather, but I find that Boros just seems a little more consistent. You're not, missing on your lands, stuff like that. But Season of Growth, Collision, Colossus, there's some really good payoffs for going Naya. So, there's Arcanist. So, notably, we've drawn one relevant spell this whole game, 2 once we cast Ugin, and this is a deck that really requires a lot more... We are not blocking this. Our life total isn't under pressure right now, so we're just going to keep this back. It requires a lot more interaction than this, as you can see. Like, opponent... Oh, man, another land. So I think... man. If we had another removal spell, I'd be tempted to plus Ugin here. Because then next turn we could try minus Ugin and then run out removal. As it is, I don't think we even have that luxury. I think we have to run this out. We've whiffed for so long an interaction. I assume they have removal or a protection spell for this, but I don't think we really have... Oh, that's not true. We did put in that one... we did put in that one Ritual of Soot main deck. Oh, and they don't seem to have it. So let's see, if they attack, they can Reckless Rage, hit our God Eternal for, yeah, I think we will stay back here. They Reckless Rage God Eternal for 4, it survives, trades with the Arcanist, but I think that I like that if they offered that trade. Oh, of course, they could, yeah, they could just do that. They're just going to do that, spend the Reckless Rage, probably have a shock in hand. I imagine... they still have a shock in the graveyard, but that's their only relevant spell there. I don't think we're really pressuring them in a relevant way here, so I think I'm going to force... I mean, if they have the removal, yeah, they just cast it anyways. At least we've faded the damage here. And I would be okay with trading out the Dreadhorde Arcanist. We will take that action because it's better than lands. It can go in front of Dreadhorde Arcanist. Maybe it's more correct to look for a Fish Through Time, aka Drawn from Dreams. That's Jeff Hoffman's line as well. Alright, they're scrying off the Season of Growth. Okay, well, Opt. Opt is okay. I just realized that all of our lands are duals here. That's nifty. Tyrant Scorn I like. We'll put it on the top. I'm going to put this out because we have a draw card, so we don't want to sandbag too many lands. And I'm going to cast this right now because they have basically they have one fewer draw to get their protection, which they haven't been representing before. So we'll see if we get it. If not, we've made them discard another protection spell. Okay, that's fine. That's actually probably the best thing that could happen here because that second Arcanist isn't doing much right now. And now they're not getting that God's Willing back unless they can... Well, I guess if they have another Feather, swing with the Feather, have the Arcanist out, recast it off of Arcanist, then Feather puts it back in their hand. Okay, we're just going to Colossus, their Dreadhorde Arcanist there. That's cool. So then we'll take 6. They'll recast this. That's 10, 11. We're probably just dead right here because I'm thinking shock too. Yeah, that's 13. All right, going to give them the good game. I actually don't like they're playing those things out immediately, because let's see. Okay, yeah, I guess there are just two things. I was thinking they were going a little overboard there when we were representing some kind of removal, and that they would want to hold a few in their hand. But yeah, no, I think this is okay, because there's just the Summit Sword, Shock, God's Willing left in there. Alright, there we go, 0 and 2, guys. Oh, you know, I said I was going to do traditional, didn't I? Alright, let's do it. Wait, why was there nothing there? I've played traditional before. This is this is best of 3. I don't know, maybe it resets with Oh, probably resets with updates, that's probably what it is. Yeah, so actually, the last time I played this deck, I went, I think it was, I think I went like 6-1, and then that evening I played some more, and I went like 0-5. So I've had some hard-earned victories and some really crushing defeats, and we seem to be on the latter at the moment. And I will say that the defeats with this deck, I often feel this is a cool thing about playing this deck, and one of the reasons that I think it's kind of a good way of developing my MTG skills is that. Ew. Yeah, it's going back. Oh, that's even worse. Okay, we're gonna try it. I think we actually keep the Field of Ruin because we got so many colors here, so we'll go back. Swamp. Actually, no, I'll go back to Field of Ruin. This is not looking good, guys. But yeah, there's just so many lines. Okay, Cavalcade deck almost definitely. Cool. That when we lose, it feels like there were things that we could have done better and learned from. This is so bad. And when we win, it often feels very well fought. Sometimes your opponent just folds to removal, and that's very sad for them. But, okay. Probably taking out the Tin Street Dodger here, because the ping on Firebrand isn't that relevant. Is Search for Azcanta good here? I don't think so. It does set up our draws, but we have Thought Erasure, removal, and just one land. So I think I would rather try to find another land and then go Cruelty here and then Thought Erasure, Tyrant Scorn the next turn. Because, yeah, as you can see, we are on the back foot here. And also remember, this was a mull to 5 on the draw against a deck that had turn 2 Cavalcade of Calamity, and then 3 creatures by turn 2, or turn 3. Okay, so we put in the stop here so that they can't attack, so we can see what they do. We play this before attacks are declared, which triggers Scorch Spitter and Cavalcade of Calamity. They'll get in for 4, take us to 6. They have Lightning Strike in hand, which takes us to 3, so yeah, we probably lost to the coin flip and the mulligan here. I don't really see where that doesn't happen. They probably Lightning Strike us right now, because I can't imagine that that's not the right line for them. That has us dead on board from the attacks off Firebrand. We have to get rid of this Lightning Strike because we'll die otherwise. Boy, pick your poison. I think we get rid of this because we need to find another removal spell or we die to the Firebrand. Gonna put another stop on their main phase so that we can see what they play. Actually, that was completely wrong. These are Firebrands. Okay. Maybe they won't see the line. Maybe they won't see the line. They see the line. We're gonna give them the oops. My bad. We could have gone to 1 here, but I don't think it was gonna matter. Alright, so what did we learn, chat? We learned to pay attention to the board and play to your outs. Don't let them untap with Firebrand when you have removal. I believe that was right I'm almost certain that was right the previous turn. Because we had a Scorch Spitter we wanted to get rid of more than anything else. Okay, Cry is good. I like just going in more removal. Ego is way too slow. God Eternals is also way too slow, but we kind of need... Well, no, actually we can... yeah, Doom Whisperer is really bad here. I think God Eternals is a lot better. It's probably our best finisher, just because of the life gain. I do not like Ugin at all, but I guess I'll leave the Liliana as the sacrifice. Now actually I'll take her out. I'll just put in the Tomebound Liches again. I was thinking they might be... I mean, they are too slow to deal with the opponent's board, but they're probably better than this other stuff that we're boarding out. On the play, Narset's probably fine. I don't like Drawn from Dreams here. It's very slow, very mana intensive. Because, you know, you cast it for 4, but then you probably can't cast what you took off of it. I like the Negates because that gets rid of Cavalcade on the play, and that's their most powerful spell, along with Chandra's Spitfire and the combo between those two. That looks pretty good. I don't want to take out this Cavalier because we still need to kill them, and 4 seems like about as low as I want to go in terms of win conditions. I wonder if it's actually right to take out a search for Azcanta, because spending a turn just scrubbing cards doesn't seem great here. I also consider going in a Muyanling, but that's way too cute. I think that's way too cute. But I don't know. Maybe maybe she's actually better than Search. So let's try it out. She's in the board for us to try her. So this time we're on the play. Hopefully we don't go down to 5. We know what we're facing, so that's nice. We will play first, thank you. Oh man, these cards are both pretty good here, and we got the lands, but nope. Okay, that's a lot better. We can keep... I'm actually not super hot on this opt because it's gonna make us shock in if we want to play it turn 1. But we're not playing it until at least turn 4 otherwise. This is probably wrong, but I'm going to shock it in. Cast it on their end step so we know what sort of things we're looking for. Okay. Scorch Spitter. Opt, Field of Ruin. Okay, so I actually feel pretty good about shocking that in now because being able to get rid of that Field of Ruin, which we're not doing much for quite a while. Oh, I mean, it's just a wastes for our deck, basically. Colorless land. We have no non-basics as far as I know. Ooh, Chandra, light up the stage, Chandra. So this represents 2 draws for them, but this Chandra is so powerful in their deck. Oh, excellent. Negate off the top. We'll probably play the Tomebound Lich next turn and then hold up the negate. Oh, and they Cavalcade off the top. Ooh. Ooh, that is really bad for us. Like they had it, but of course we know they didn't. That did slow down their light up the stage, so at least if they want to get value off of it now, they have to run into us. I think I might actually... I feel like we need to keep the Cavalier because we just have so few... Our deck is so threat light right now. So I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to keep this land. We want the negate for the Chandra. Tibalt, okay, it's going to turn off our life gain, which is super relevant here. It's going to make a bunch of guys that'll wreck us. Hopefully we'll find a board wipe in the near future. Okay, and here we can Watery Grave tapped. No attacks. Can't negate that fast enough.
Resistance are painfully slow.
Okay, so Legion's End's pretty good here. I think I would rather Legion's End than cast the... Oh, no, actually, I think Cavalier of Gales is pretty good here. I don't think these guys are going to do too much that's relevant, and this just walls their side really hard. And we're still at 15. If we were at lower life, we'd probably have to Legion's End just... Ooh, Enter the God Eternals. Excellent. Just because... we'd be too low on life that they could swing into us a couple times and potentially just kill us with a burn spell or something, or, you know, get a Spitfire and then go, ooh, okay, another Chandra, that's very bad for us. But, well, fortunately they can't cast that Cavalcade. That's kind of a saving grace for us. Okay, so this should be pretty good, because we can enter the God Eternals on their Scorch Spitter. We know we have an island on top that we don't really want. And I don't think there's any reason to or not to mill either of us. So I'm going to hit myself, just get rid of the island. We got rid of a Cry of the Carnarium, which doesn't feel great. But, you know, we also got closer to all the nice stuff that we're going to draw later. Importantly, that 4 life gain is going to mean that we can survive this hit from Chandra without going down to 6. So I've got a 4-4 and a 1-3 with both lifelink and everything, but the Death Touch doesn't do anything either. Alright, so this is pretty bad. So we take 4 right off the bat. 4. We're actually going to block here and here, once it lets us. Because we're going to Legion's End these guys. we won't gain life, so we'll go to 4. They will have light up the stage here. Oh, good, they get 2 things that they can't cast. Well, I mean, they can cast a thing there, but this guy's gonna basically eat us for lunch here. So, do we have any outs? I don't think. Well, okay. Our out is to opt into something good and or Tomebound Lich into something good. So, I don't know if it's right to do one first versus the other. That's not what we want. We kind of need Thought Erasure here, honestly. All right. Let's see. I want to get this loot. I mean, I think this is actually the correct play to do this. Holding back blockers is very... Because the thing is that these guys will deal damage to us when they die. So we really need like a Cry of the Carnarium or something. So I think we just need to... I think this is our best out. I'm not sure if that's correct. And obviously putting the Tomebound Lich there so that we can... okay, there's Thought Erasure. That's what we needed. We can discard the Opt. That means that we can... Okay, we put the play together. They still have Tibalt, which is really bad. Oh, right. That wasn't their hand, chat. That was what they exiled off of their 1 mana draw 2. Well, we put the play together, but unfortunately, this thing that looks like a hand is indeed not a hand. So that's going to be it. So if you'd held one of these guys back, we could have actually... No, we'd have still been dead. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we actually had outs there. That was... the 3 guaranteed damage off of the Scorch Spitter there was not going to give us a way back into that game, unfortunately. Alright, let's see what we got. Opponent goes first. That does seem to be the way of things. This looks like a great hand. We can remove something or search for Azcanta. On turn 2, we've got removal, we've got Tomebound Lich. Get some Death Touch, get some lifelink, get some looting. All things that are fantastic for this deck. Alright, Temple of Epiphany, so it could be anything. It could be Scape Shift, it could be Is It Drakes, it could be Grixis Control. Steam Vent, so probably one of the Is It decks. We're playing into Spell Pierce, but I don't think it's right to play around Spell Pierce because they'll have more counters later if they are playing counter spells. It could be the Wizards deck, actually. Although it would be odd for them to have nothing until 3, but they do have Adelise on 3. I think we're going to Graveyard this. It looks like they're on 2 colors and they have plenty of mana fixing, so I don't see that being relevant at all. And of course it feeds Search. So we're going to throw down Island, try to stick a Tomebound Lich. There's a good chance to get Sinister Sabotage or something like that. Nope, sweet. That's great because we can loot away one of these many, many lands that we have. Well, maybe we don't want to loot away a land now because we just drew Liliana. But I think she's still 3 turns away. I'm going to drop one of these swamps because there's a little less black in this deck than blue, and we've got triple blue on Cavalier of Gales. So I have faith that we will get to another land before Liliana is in play. Electro Dominance. What? Oh yeah, this is a... Okay, well, this is not Mizzet deck, chat. They sure showed me that I don't know anything about the game of Magic. Do we want another Tomebound Lich? I don't think so, but I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what the opponent's doing, guys. I think we're going to graveyard this. Again, it feeds that. It feeds the search. So we're at 3 cards now. I'm pretty sure we're going to get counterspelled here. But what I think I will do is swing first. Because I'm not feeling under pressure here. They shocked in that land there, so it feels like... that wasn't for no reason. I'm no expert, but yeah, so if this resolves, that's great. If not, we have Liliana in a couple turns, and we've drawn out a counterspell. I'm okay with killing our Tomebound Lich here, because Risen Reef is a little better than Tomebound Lich, believe it or not. Yep, negate. They got it. I do kind of wish that this stopwatch icon would, like, move. Like that you could tell, like, basically. Ooh, wow. Lands, chat, are arch nemesis. All right, let's try to get another spell out of their hand here. I like keeping this search, actually, because we have the 6 lands, and once this flips, which will be not too long from now, actually it'll be next turn if we want, we can then play another one, which is cool. Alright, so let's try to... Oh, cool. I was expecting more counterspells, actually, so what I should have done, the Psychic play, and probably the good play, would have been to just try to Tyrant Score on that guy last turn. But on the off chance that they didn't have a counterspell, like that they were sandbagging removal or something, I really wanted to try to get that Ritual of Soot out because they were off of a color if we got rid of Llanowar Elves. So, that was the thought there. It probably was greedy of me to do that, but I mean, we got rid of the Risen Reef, and they're on so much land now that it probably makes less of a difference. Okay, well that's good for them because now we can't wipe their board with Liliana. I mean, I'm assuming they're making that, yeah. And they have the gate mana up now as well. So that's no good. We still have to gate mana. We will put that in the graveyard, I think. We will say yes to transforming. Ooh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now I kind of wish that I had that because I can... Boy, man, those Llanowar Elves make Liliana really weak. This is not lined up well for us, chat. Not at all. Alright, so what are our outs? This is going to kill us unless we can get our only board wipe that kills Nissa's stuff is already in the bin, because it got countered earlier. I think I'm going to try to... you know, they only have 1 card in hand, so we're probably okay to play her there, actually. That was not good of me. I was thinking I would try to find a land with... so activate as Kanta, try to find a land next turn with Search, have Liliana with Negate behind it. I can't counter that, so I'm not going to try. Yeah, so I guess this is like Temur Elementals, but with Electro Dominance and Chandra, which I don't think Temur Elementals usually plays. Okay, that's fine. It's kind of hoping for a misclick and they blow up all their Llanowar Elves, but Missile Lands, of course, are Elementals, so Chandra does not kill them with her -3. I'm just going to activate this here. I don't think we have any 1-mana spells that are relevant, but... okay. Unfortunately, both of their lands have the same name, so we can't kill both of their land creatures have different names, so we can't kill both of them with Legion's End. However, this does give us a line where if we get a land, we can Legion's End. Come on, land. Decline. No! Oh, man. So with a land, the play was we Legion's End their Llanowar Elves, and then we Liliana to make them sack both of their remaining creatures. As it is, we can't do that. So yeah, that land we threw away before, I think that was the right thing to do. With what we have, well, maybe with transforming as Kanto, we should have kept it. Well, so if we do that, we take 6, 9 next turn. Yeah, we're just gonna say, well, okay, I guess we have a minor line here, where we Legions End the Elves. Judge takes a relevant amount of power off the battlefield, and we see they have another Nissa, so we're just dead. Yeah, between that and the... Actually, we're just going to scoop it here, because between that and the Chandra emblems that we're going to be getting, we don't really have a way back into this. So I'll just keep them off of a little bit of information by not playing out the rest of my cards, and go to the next game, which we will guaranteed be able to play first. Alright, so what seems good here? Well, they have lots of Monodorks and Risen Reefs, so I like Cry quite a bit. All creatures with converted mana cost 3 and less does include Nissa lands, so that's good. God Eternals, actually pretty good against Nissa lands as well. They're a little on the grindy side, so I think I like the Drawn from Dreams. I don't know that I like the Duress. It might be right to bring it in because of their planes. I'll bring it in for now, and the negates, and then we'll just see what we want to cut. So, Tomebound Lich I don't think does a whole lot here, because they're not really going to combat except for with the Nissa lands as far as we've seen. So let's cut those and then see if we want to bring them in later. Legion's End seems good. It kills Nissa lands and Manadorks. Ob's Cruelty, it's more removal. It's expensive for what it does, but if they have... Well, it doesn't kill Cavalier of Thorns is the issue. Like, nothing that we have really kills Cavalier of Thorns except for Ugin. The Moo, yeah, Moo feels bad. Narset's fine. Board Wipes, Kefnet, Drawn from Dreams, Ritual of Soot, Cavalier of Gales, Doom Whisper. I like the Flyers quite a bit, actually. Helps pressure their Planeswalkers. Thought Erasure is great. Maybe go down to 2 Duress or something. I like keeping the negates in, because, well, actually, maybe we can't counter Chandra. Maybe we go 3 negate until we see more non-creature spells from them. That is one thing I struggle with, actually, is remembering what our opponent has played in the previous games. So, yeah, that's a thing. Oh yeah, right, we have Noxious Grasp too. Okay, so let's bring those in. We only have a few seconds left, so let's... Oh, God, I really hate that. They can say 7 seconds left, and then it just puts you into the game before you can take out the cards you want to take out, and then you just get... Okay, so what did we learn, chat? We learned that at 7 seconds left, you have 0 seconds left, and play accordingly. Oh, that is kind of tilting. It's almost as tilting as when you try to rearrange the swamp in your hand and you discard it by accident. Opponent mulligans. We've got turn 1 up, so that's nice. Let's do it on their turn after we see what they do, if anything. Temple of Epiphany again. I'm just going to do this now so I don't have to click through all of the prompts. I think I'm going to bottom this. We have 3 lands already, and we want to hit like a Thought Erasure or something. Or a Duress, or... Okay, there's another land, so bottoming the land feels good. Goes to the bottom. Always love to see it. Cavalier of Gales is not a Thought Erasure, nor anything remotely resembling it. Again, I don't think I'm going to, shock to represent Negate. Seems way too cute. Do like that animation. Golly, that is nice. Okay, shocks the breeding pool, gets the Leaf Druid, which notably Cry of the Carnarium does nothing about. I think I'm going to opt here and just try to hit Thought Erasure. That is an island. Again, I think we only have 25 lands in this deck, so our ability to hit lots and lots of lands, and then be stuck on 7 when we need 8 somehow, is quite the thing here. Our opponent scries, they've got 3 mana at the moment. So they do have, they're representing Nissa next turn, which we don't really have an answer for. So we can either Drawn from Dreams. Actually, maybe Kefnet's the play here, because Kefnet does its card advantage, potentially. It can potentially cheat on mana, and it does wall... oh, well, Fry. That's nice. Do I want to put this back on top when we're... I think so. Take that action. That was very good for opponent. Trading 2 mana for 4 is fantastic. Especially when you're ramping stuff out already. Alright, this looks like the Nist. Oh, Cavalier of Thorns. Alright, the one card that we just said we have no recourse to. Notably, it is 1 too big in the butt for Cavalier of Gales to trade with it. We'd have to do like a combat trick or something. I guess Liliana Sacrifice is the thing that we have for it. We'll have to do that before they get any other creatures out is the issue. Okay, I like a land. Do I just want a second land? Do I want a Tomebound Lit? What do they put in the graveyard? Oh, ugh. Yeah, we have to find a way of exiling that guy, so I guess that would be Cry of the Carnarium plus something else, but... oh, it's a really weak line. I mean, I think we might just take the Narset and try to draw... something good if we miss on the Liliana. We do have, you know, Thought Erasers, things like that. That also leaves up Negate for next turn. Normally I feel I do really well against this sort of deck with, you know, the creature synergy type deck. With this one, because we just have a lot of removal and a lot of Thought Erasers, but as you can see, when we get none of either of those things, we're in a really bad spot, and yeah, the Tamiyo is going to help them recur things. I guess that gets the Tamiyo back. Huh. Interesting. Alright, well, there's the land. God, if we just found a removal spell before now for the Leafkin Druid, we could have wiped their board. They'd still get a card back on top. I mean, is it just Cry of the Carnarium, Narset, or I guess Narset, Cry of the Carnarium? So that we kill one of their guys? Narset, search. Ugh. Yuck. I mean, I guess it's the search, which we can play now, or we can... I think we just have to pry the Risen Reaper away. The Exile class is relevant, but yeah, this does not feel good for us. I mean, if they don't play a creature here, we're in really good shape. But I think that that's a little bit optimistic. Let me know what you think of the new light setup, by the way. I got a little ring light. Electro Dominance. Are we just dead? I think we're just dead. Okay, well, I guess I should have had up the negate, chat. I guess I wasn't playing around Electro Dominance into Omnath for Xaxes, but that was way too beautiful. I think that even if I had had the power to do that, I might have chosen to play in ignorance of it. Oh yeah, that's right, we didn't get to sideboard that game, did we? I don't think we would have done much better had we. Because the stuff that we needed was the spot removal, which we already had a lot of and didn't really bring much in of. And saw none of, I think. Oh, jeez. This is so bad. And on the draw again, this is way too slow. What did I do to deserve this? Alright, well, I guess we're gonna keep our 2 interaction spells and 3 lands and just hope that we get back to our threats at some point, because that's about half of them we just put at the bottom. Oh good, Llanowar Elves, good. I'm sure that this Thought Erasure will be right on time and nothing terrible is gonna happen to us. Oh, well that was better than expected. Alright, let's take a peek. See what's going on. Oh no! Where's our Ritual of Sit? Where is our Ritual of Sit? Okay, well, Deputy of Detention, does less than Hydroid Krasis. Tomebound Lich does nothing at all. I guess we hope they play like a 2-2 Krasis, and then we can cry it away. Oh, but we're short on a black for that, so that doesn't even work yet. I assume they're going to do that here, actually, because that'll get them a card draw, that'll help them hit future land drops, gives them a beater. Alright, so we really hope we hit a black source here. That's not a black source game. Alright, well, we're going to put in Field of Ruin, put in a stop. I mean, hopefully they hit no more lands and they do the same thing again, so we can just cry away both of the Krasis, but I don't know if that's the plural of Krasis, by the way. It just sounds right to me, so it's what I say. So I have a negate up here too, but I really want to use Field of Ruin so I can... Okay. This is actually alright. So we will... Actually, we're going to see what they get first if they put a land into play. Okay, so now we have a little more information. Looks like we want to hit white here because they've got green, 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 green. Well, they only have one source of blue, so we're going to hit that breeding pool. Be able to get the basic forest, of course, but this actually fixes our mono. Well, maybe there's a little worse. Okay, okay. We're hanging in there. We're hanging in there. Could be super greedy and Thought Erasure into Cry of the Carnarium and hope they play another small Krasis, but actually... Oh, wait, okay. So actually, I think... They don't have any elementals in hand, so they need to top deck an elemental in order to get a draw for Version Reef. So I think we actually Thought Erasure away this Krasis. Love Legion's End here, actually, because they have... Well, okay, we've gotten rid of 3 of their Krasis already, but with their Monodorks and stuff... Yeah, but they've got... I think that another piece of removal is good for us. I'm going to leave that on top. Alright, you could get super punished for this, but I think this is actually our best play here. They're only representing 4 damage if they go in with the Llanowar Elves versus our 16 health. This stops them... I mean, unless they top deck it, this stops them from... Well, of course, they could just, like, have ripped a Nissa or something. Which looks like might have been the case. But no, they would have played that before attacks, obviously. Voracious Titan. Okay, so that's a 6-7. Yeah, we're dead in a couple turns, but notably... No, we're not. Oh, we need one more black for that to happen. But so we can either Cry of the Carnarium, the Hydra, because it's a 2 CMC creature while it's on the battlefield, which takes off 6 power, but I think we have to Cry here. Get rid of these 3 guys because while that leaves them with 2 more power, that gets rid of their mono ramp and potentially their additional card draw. I really wish we had that extra black source here so that we could wipe their entire board. We do have the gate, so that's very relevant. Oh, sorry, we had the gate last turn, so we weren't worried about Anissa. That would have actually been fantastic for us if they played that out. Alright, go to 7. Nice, it's very good here, actually, because we can play that, then play the Legion's End. If they can't counterspell us, they didn't get blue mana. Do they not have? They must not have basic islands. That is very good for us.
Just the trick.
I think we're taking... So I really want to enter the God Eternals, but we're not going to have any targets for it is the problem. That'll really help out our well, they can't pressure us without attacking us or having creatures that we can God Eternals. So that's probably good. And we have the mana for it. I think that's what we're going for. Then we're going to Legion's End here. What was this revealed off of? Oh, because we revealed their hand when we Legion's ended. Boy, by getting cut off of blue, they're gonna have to sandbag all of these cards. Oh, right, huh. Paradise Druid, just kidding.
You'll thank me later.
Okay, so this actually is pretty cool.
Trust me.
I mean, if they have counter magic, which we know they don't, we know their hand. Good. Okay, so let's minus Narset and see what we find. Drawn from Dreams seems very good here. I feel like it was actually a mistake of them to play Teferi here, because it's not doing anything relevant at the moment, and it's going to let us, because they tapped a Paradise Druid, that gives us a target for Enter the God Eternals. They almost definitely have Cavalier of Thorns, so I don't want to mill them, because that'll just give them more targets. Yep, so they bounce our token, but we turn off the draw from that, so that's pretty cool. I think we probably... I think we need to find something to deal with the board here. That's some things to deal with the board. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've got 6. We can also play Thought Erasure here, which is awesome. So Cavalier of Gales is going to be my board dealer with of choice, I believe, because of the Brainstorm effect. If they exile it, this is when it dies, right? Yeah, so that's unfortunate. But if they exile this, then we can kill their exiler. Then we're in a really, really good spot. Or maybe I actually think I might be right to take both of these, because we're okay on lands for now, and the Cry is kind of dead at the moment. So yeah, let's just do this. The Negate is dead right now because of Teferi. Let's get rid of that Nissa, how about? That seems really good. 6. Being at 7 lands is actually good next turn. Oh no, it's not, because they have Teferi out. I hate you so much, Teferi. It's not an imbalanced card, it just makes the game a lot worse in most every game that it's played. Not on power level, but just on what does it do to the game state and how the game is played. I feel the same way about Narset, but Narset's on my side of the battlefield, as you noticed, so in this moment, I feel better, and opponent scoops. I feel better about Narset than I feel about Teferi. That is the important, critical difference. Okay, so let's do this in 1 minute and 53 seconds this time, because we don't have 2 minutes, we have 1 minute and 53 seconds. Alright, Duress feels very good. Noxious Grasp feels very good. God Eternals feels alright. We want the Negates, although, yeah, hopefully so we're countering Teferi. Drawn from Dreams is amazing here. What is not terribly good? I like the Cries. I like a couple of Cries for their little dudes. Obnixilus' Cruelty does not seem great, although again, I can never remember what our opponents played in the game. Excuse me. Legion's End, they do have Krasis and Hydra, so that's really good. We need to get rid of 8 cards here. Excuse me. Tomebound Lich doesn't do as much. And actually, Tomebound Lich is a good cut in later games because you know what you don't want in your deck and you've taken it out. Tyrant's Scorn actually seems like one of the weaker cards here. It has a lot of good targets, but they're already getting got better by most of the things that we have, so maybe I'll cut those. The bounce is actually relevant sometimes on that card. To bounce someone that's getting Deputy of Attention. Okay, 3 more cuts. 3 more cuts before we get kicked. Oh yeah, Ritual of Soot kills the Liana lands, or Nissa lands, so maybe I keep that in and pull out one of the Cries. And then 2 more. Maybe cut one of the Negates because we have lots of ways of finding it when we want it. And As you saw in that game, Enter the God Eternals was good for us, but it wasn't really a great one. It's good against Nissa lands, but it's very expensive. I think we'll just cut that. It might be totally wrong, but hopefully with the amount of removal that we have here, we'll not be on the back foot. And we won't need the life gain. Now that we've put in some more relevant cards against them. That's the cut I'm probably the least sure about, but it feels okay. Oh, I like this a lot. I really like Duress into Thought Erasure. Although, you know, not playing the turn 1 opt feels... I don't know about that. I mean, we can't play it anyways unless we draw an untapped blue source, but... Alright, let's see what you got, opponent. Show me your 5. Guess we're getting rid of Vivian. This is a very good card, by the way. It's kind of been a sleeper, but I think people have caught on to it now. That it's actually pretty fantastic. Okay, so we could not play Thought Erasure, but I think the correct play is to play Thought Erasure. Get rid of probably the... Oh, High Teferi. Well, double discard spell more powerful than all of Bant, apparently. Alright, we got some daily wins done. Conclave Tribunal. I think I already had the 4, but that's a very nice card. Let's see, we've been going for... What time did I start this stream? How long have we been going? I thought it was supposed to tell me down here how long the stream's been going, but I guess it doesn't. That's cool. Well, we've been going for a while. Maybe... Let's switch it up for a little bit. Let's do a couple games with the Elemental Ramp deck. The Temur Elemental. No Narsets, no Teferis, except for those that our opponent brings. Opponent chooses which player plays first. I must have jinxed us when I said that maybe we broke the curse, chat. That was on me. Well, this is garbage. Let's throw that back. This is really good. I think it might actually be correct to throw back the Paradise Druid here, because we have 3 lands and 2 Risen Reefs, and then the Omnath. So, the Paradise Druid doesn't really ramp us into anything. Cool. So now we wish we would have kept that Paradise Druid, because playing that turn 2 to ramp us into Omnath, kill a Fanatical Firebrand, and have a 3/3 blocker would have been really good. But in the dark, I feel like that was the correct play. You can't play around Risen Reef not being the best card in your deck. That's just not how it works. Krasis, way too late of a payoff right here, because we're going to need to find another land, which actually be easy with Risen Reef. Okay, so, wait, we have 1, 2, we actually have 3? This is greedy. I think we need to get rid of this, because it's going to be at least turn 5 that it comes out, more likely turn 6 or 7. And at that point, you're pretty against the ropes if you haven't stabilized entirely. That would get us back into the game for sure if our... Well, Nissa... Oh, jeez, let me hit the card we really don't want to see. So yeah, it might have been better not to do that. Yeah, I want to try to find something that's relevant earlier than that Krasis is going to be with what we have on board right now. Skylauncher tapped. You can't make those not enter tapped off of Risen Reef. All you can do is pay 2 life to still have it enter tapped. I assume we're going to get some kind of... Oh, jeez. Alright, there's another breeding pool, so that's awesome. I think the play here is to shock in for a Nissa. Actually, we could also go Omnath, kill the Firebrand. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that, actually. So Omnath comes in. They can Lightning Strike him, which will make this deal no damage, which would be sad times. Doesn't happen. That means that either they don't have removal here, so this will come in and buff Omnath, or they misplayed that. But it looks like they didn't have it. What are they holding? What's our opponent? That must have been what they top decked, because they didn't play anything last turn on 3.
Anything.
considering whether they want to get in for 1 damage or preserve their Chandra. They aren't representing killing this because they can't go... I was thinking, no, they can't even go land, light up the stage, and then kill it. Okay, so first order, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think before anything else, we're gonna Nissa. Then we're going to plus Nissa, untap something that provides red, or no. I think I actually want to do this one, because we have the island, which will give us blue to play our Risen Reef here. So I'm going to play this to get this also out of range of Lightning Strike. Kill the Chandra because Chandra too good. Play Risen Reef. Get another Krasis. See, this is when I wanted to draw the Krasis. Krasis, yeah. Okay. That was... Our opponent really sputtered there. I wonder... Did they just literally have nothing on their turn 3? Or I can't imagine what was going on there. Okay, so what don't we like here? Oh, I put a Moo in here too. Oh, I cut something from this deck and didn't have anything to put in its place, so I put a Moo in. Don't like that. Like the negates, we really want to get those experimental frenzies. Speaking of which, Thrashing Brontodon pretty good against that. Bring in the Drakes, that's pretty much what they're here for. Aether Gust might be okay, but we'll probably not actually bring them in. I do not like the Mass Manipulations. I do not like the Cavalier of Gales. I do like the Cavaliers of Thorns here. With their being able to ramp us and then fix our draws if they die. Let's see. We've brought our top end down a little bit by cutting this garbage. I want to leave in the Lava Coils and the Monodorks. Maybe we go down like a Nissa, pull the Aether Gusts. I mean, Nissa is so good as we saw in that last game, but the 3/3s often aren't enough to stabilize you in this matchup. So I think... Can I change the deck name from here? I cannot. I can just highlight it. Oh, can I? Doesn't look like it. We're going to submit at the 50-second mark before we just get shoved into the match with time still on the timer here. Alright, so opponent gets to play. I mean, they get to choose. I assume they take it. We will plug it. Man, these hands. Not great, but we can Lava Coil turn 2 if needed. I think I'd rather put down the Cavalier, put that back here. We have the mana for either, but we can play this turn 4 just to get a blocker and a card and a life. No, actually, I think we're going to put this back now that I'm saying it out loud. It's just so good having this to stabilize with, and if we don't get any ramp, it's going to take a while for the Dragon Skull Summit, huh? Dragon Skull Summit. Weren't they... They were mono red last time, right, chat? With that slow of a start, I think we do want the Paradise Druid here. I assume they will have a relevant thing next turn, but if it's not super scary... This is the same deck, right? Wow, did we ever read that wrong? I mean, that explains what they were doing all game. Alright, so we're gonna have to pay the 2 life here, kill that Knight of the Ebon Legion. Maybe it's right to exile Gutterbones, because then it's gone for good, but I don't want that Knight able to swing in, pump itself, all that stuff, even if it means they have to tap out for it. And honestly, I don't find Gutterbones that great. I think I've talked about this on my stream before, but I've tried it in Aristocrats, which seems to be what we're playing. And it's cute, it's nice that you can, you know, bring it back in But you have to damage the opponent, which isn't hard, granted. But you have to get in for damage, and then you have to pay the 2 mana, and then you have to play 1 more to replay it, and it's just a 2-1 once you've done all that, so it just always felt pretty weak to me. That Lightning Strike means that we're in a really bad spot with this Chandra beating our brains in. We can't get down the Omnath here. I'll be able to recur the Gutter Bones because Chandra will be able to get in. Again, if they have Lightning Strike, they'll just blank this. Okay, they don't. But that will mean that they're not doing a bunch of other... Ooh, Judith is really good for them. Oh, wow. Alright, so we'll block one of these guys. Fortunately, Judith doesn't trigger off non-creatures, but she does double the damage these elementals are dealing to us. So then if they have, like, Mask of Immolation or something, they can kill our Omnath. Okay, well, this might be where we can turn the corner, because we got our 5th land, which makes Omnath bigger, which is cool. And that gets us a Cavalier of Thorns, which should get us to 6 mana. Okay, so what do we need? We're at 1 red, but we only have 5 red cards in this entire deck. I think we just want the Stomping Ground because it's extra mana off of Nissa. And we have plenty of blue. Enters tapped. I think we're actually going to grow the Cavalier of Thorns, because that just puts this further out of reach. And I think we might actually... I think we actually go for the Chandra here. They're tapped out, so they can't have removal. They choose to sack the Chandra, which makes me think they probably have another one in hand. Otherwise, I would have preferred, I think... oh, perhaps not. Okay, question is, what do we do here? Well, we can block Judith all day with Cerulean Drake. I think we're just going to crash. This is a 3-turn clock. If they want to sacrifice... Oh, they can't even block with Gutter Bones, because it comes in tapped. Then we're going to Paradise Druid, and then Drake, and then we have Negate back up. Drake blocks Judith all day, counters a spell that goes to our face. We have the Negate. I'm going to block the Paradise Druid. I don't think that the ramp is relevant. And... oh, right, yeah, that can go to our face. Oh, okay, I thought they were going to go to our face and then recur that guy, but instead they're just going to try to kill our Omnath. We'll just make them very sad. That whole line didn't do anything. We could go in with everything and take them to 1 if they don't block, but I think... because they have hasty creatures and Chandras and things, I think we just want to go in with this again and either force them to chump or be dead next turn. Which, I mean, they can chump next turn too, so that's probably what they'll do. I'm just going to play out Llanowar Elf. Could be a relevant blocker. It is possible going in with Omnath there was good, because then getting in just the Omnath and a couple of 1-power creatures would have been good for us there, but we got there. We got there, we saw the power of that deck, and we got a mythic card. Lazav the Multifarious, Crim's like favorite card of all time. Okay, I have to reread this card because he cloned your graveyard, right? Enters the battlefield, surveil 1. Becomes a copy of target creature card in your graveyard with converted cost X, except it's... okay. So it keeps on cloning things in your graveyard. That is a really cool toolbox card. I like that quite a bit. Don't think I'm going to play it anytime soon, but I do like it. So let's run that back. That felt really powerful. That felt good after losing a bunch of games with our Dimir deck. Just gonna check levels and everything here. Wait, are we? Okay, there we go. Good, good. Oh, there we go. Live for 1 hour and 15 minutes. All right, all right. We will play first. Thank you for asking. We would love to play first. We would love to keep this 7. We have a card we can't cast, but we don't care, because we have Elf into Reef into Leafkin, Elf, whatever. Assuming our opponent does nothing to interact with us, which I think in Standard is a completely reasonable assumption to make. I think that everyone is on the just, let your opponent, live and let live plan. What in the hello? It always feels like it's my creature saying hello when I play it like this. Alright, you got it. We don't even have to shock for it. Like we had it all along, which we did. We draw another card we can't cast, but who cares? We have a Risen Reef on the table. And we got 4 mana next turn. Take your pick, opponent. They're probably taking the Leafkin Druid because it's a draw from Risen Reef, so that makes us sad. But we've got a Risen Reef, and they take a Lava Coil that we can't cast. Huh. Well. Alright, so I think here we're gonna go to attack first, actually. Actually, no, we're gonna get the draw first. Let's see what we get. We will put out Temple of Mystery, we'll get a Scry, that always feels amazing. We do not want more lands, thank you very much, we are good. Alright, let's get into 2. I'm actually gonna go... I'm deciding if I want to leave a Llanowar Elves back, because I imagine we're going to get board wiped, given what we've seen so far. And it's not going to do... The odds that it does something relevant next turn are pretty low, because most of the things we want to do top out at 5. And as you can see, we already have a lot more than 5 mana. So this way we're playing around like a Cry of the Carnarian. Oh, okay, they're playing the Yarok field deck. Okay, so playing the Llanowar Elves would have been really good there. So why did they take the Lava Coil we couldn't cast? I assume this is Yarok field, at least. Yeah, Yarok is 3/5, so Coil does not kill it. This is really good because it lets us get in. Unfortunately, we cannot go Omnath land. We have to go land Omnath. Because... So actually, we should have played that Ritbound Crag last turn. Alright, so we'll kill this guy so that we can get in. Another Omnath is actually pretty good. We could attack with the Leafkin Druid to assert dominance, but we're not going to do that. We will just play out the last Llanowar Elves now because it seems less likely that we're getting board wiped here, and more likely that we want to race as fast as we can. And deploying Llanowar Elves here is actually relevant to our racing plan, given that we've found 2 payoff cards, and half of them, well, all of them are named Omnath, and we can't cast the other one. Alright, so we have 1, 2, 3... So we pretty much have to kill this Golos, although they didn't get red. So they can't activate it. They could be sandbagging a red land, but I feel like we just have to kill this guy. So I think we're going, oh, but we can't because we only have 1 red source. Well, remember I was just talking about how little red we have in this deck? And it is coming in to bite us here. I think we're going to swing. Actually, okay, Cavalier of Thorns could hit a red source, but we won't be able to cast both of our cards, obviously, or either of them. I think we're actually going to go in. They know about the Lava Coil, so I imagine that they don't take... Oh, okay. Guess they don't. We have another Omnath, so we really don't care that that just happened. And also we have 1, 2, 3, 4... Okay, so if you play 2 off of Leafkin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 7 total. Yeah, so we can go... I'm just going to make really sure. Yeah, so that's 2... Wait. Yeah, 2... I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to make sure that we were getting the 2 there and I wasn't miscounting somehow. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we'll play this first. See what we hit. Krasis is awesome. This one, I guess. Alright. And now... spend that coil that they know we have. I'm guessing that they have another Golos. That's what's going on here, because they knew we had... yep. They knew we had Lava Coil, and they also, didn't get... oh, they still haven't gotten a red land. Do they just not have red in the stack, and they just play Golos to find lands and block Omnaths? I mean, it's possible. Alright, what kind of money do we have for a Krasis here? Well, first we have 1, 2, 3, so we'd have 4 for Omnath, so we can't kill Golos with them. I think our first order of business is going to be just to swing with Cavalier. If they kill it, we can put something cool on top. I assume they will not, though. And we can make a huge Krasis. Okay, jump block. That's good. So we want to do that first because we don't want them to know that we're about to have a big evasive beater. So we're going to play this. Pay 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So x equals 9. Actually, I'm going to do it for 10 and then see. Okay, yeah. So, oops. Down 1. Because we wanted them to make that block not knowing that we would have a 2-turn clock in the air. We draw another evasive beater and a Nissa off of that. Nissa is really good for us. We got a... let's see. Yeah, opponent definitely has outs here. Like, they... oh, well, I guess they're not into fairy colors. I just expect every deck to have Teferi in it if it's playing, like, blue. So... okay, Cavalier of Thorns is really good for them, because that'll get in the way of our Krasis for a turn, and then get them something cool. Okay, Nexus of Fate goes back into their deck, and then basically it's a Tamiyo. So that could have been a much better hit for them. But I mean, it is 2 zombies. 2 zombies is 2 zombies, you know. You can't say no to 2 zombies. Any way of activating this guy? Am I just missing something here? Opponent in the tank over something. It's like they're deciding how to tap lands. Ooh, Astrophy on the presses. That's really good. Excuse me, we'll take that action. Here we're gonna get a forest because that's extra mana off of Nissa. Oh, sorry, I was actually going to put a basic mountain in this deck for, no blocks. I was going to put a basic mountain in this deck for Field of Ruin because that's been getting so much more popular lately, but I did not. Okay, so how much mana do we have here? We got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, a bunch more if we play Nissa, so yeah, let's just lead with Nissa. We're going to actually leave that Rookbound Crag up because it's your only source of red, which you might want to use this turn. Oh, I actually tapped one more forest than I needed to there. Alright, so we can play... so what are our outs here? Well, I think one of our outs is having a lot of blockers. And I think one is 2, 3... 4. So let's untap. I want to untap this one. Actually, probably this one. This is slightly less value. I don't... well, okay, I'll go here.
Rise, my elemental friend.
I like Cavalier. Oh, I forgot about the Risen Reef. Shoot, that was a big mistake. Okay, so we'll brainstorm here. Solve. Let's put back, say, this and this. Put that on the top. Resolve. Take action. Enter step. Play a island. Get down. Another. I should have played first, obviously, but I completely missed that we had it. Play a Leafkin Druid. Take the action. Leave the Risen Reef on top. Draw the Risen Reef. Play Leafkin Druid. Get some triggers. How many cards do we have left? Hydroid Krasis is amazing. 25 cards. Footwork Buncrag on the bottom. No reason to attack that I can see. Okay. Well, we just outwided the zombie field deck, so that's good. But every land they draw is 2 zombies. Or more if they find a third field. So they are far from out of this game. But we're also in a pretty good spot now. So let's see, we got 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20, 22. Looks like we got 22 mana for next turn. We can get a forest there, so 24 mana? Maybe 26, I don't know if I counted the Llanowar Elves or not. So we can make a really big Hydroid Krasis. That's the... Oh, opponent's going to start taking extra turns now. It's great for them. That was their last card in hand, so hopefully they can't do anything too good here. They're eyeing our Cavalier, so let's see. We can block a dude, block a dude, block a dude, block a dude. That means that 6 get through, we take 12. Is that right? Yeah, I think these are the right blocks. If they have another Nexus, then that's very good for them. Field of Dead, probably the next best thing we could have for them. Ah, another Krasis. So if we survive this turn, we get lots of things. They have how many? That's like 26 power on the battlefield. Alright, well, let's make some mana. Then let's untap it.
The land shall conquer you.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14, 16, 17, 19. We're going to kill ourselves if we make this as big as we can. 21, 23, 25, 26, 27, 28, 30. So maybe we, like, make 2 of these. I mean, yeah, the problem here is that I don't really think we can survive this turn. We don't have enough elementals to just 1, 2, and we're like totally out of time. Yeah, so the problem is I don't think we survive this turn, even if we make a really big thing. I'm gonna see if I can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, it's not gonna do it. Okay, okay. I have no idea how big I can make this because we've been roping. So let's just say like x equals 10 and see what we end up with. And then let's do the same thing again. Oh no! We were just a moment too late! That was my bad for slow playing, but there's a lot of math that goes into this. Or a lot of counting. I mean, counting takes time, even if it's not that hard. I keep scooting away from the cam here. I apologize for that. I'm pretty sure they just got us. yeah, sure, we'll kill this guy. We'll block a thing, we'll block a thing. I think we're dead, but we're going to go through the motions, because maybe we're not. If we would have gained an extra guy and an extra 10 life, that would have been really nice for us, wouldn't it? Or an extra 5 life, rather. Block there, block there. We take 10. Yeah, we would have survived, or we take 8. We would have been A-okay if we would have clicked that K a second earlier. We would have had 1 more blocker, we would have had 5 more life. I mean, opponent could have had something and just knew that they had us dead on board. Yeah, play faster. That is what we learned from that match, or from that game. And now we got another game. What is good against our opponent? I feel like Negate's good, but I mean, yeah, so the thing is that their lands are what's killing us. I like a couple of Veils, since they have the Thought Erasures and the Assassin's trophies. Seems like Moo comes out. I don't think she does much here. The Lava Coils seem pretty weak. They're kind of a main deck sideboard card anyways. I wanted to put in Duress, but then I realized that that's the wrong deck. I mean, we can kill Golos with Thrashing Brontodon, but I don't think that's very good. Let's go in the Veils of Summer, just to protect our guys. I really don't know how to sideboard against this deck with this deck. The Cavaliers don't feel great when we're getting chumped all the time, especially because their Thorns walls our Gales all day. We don't like Aethergust. Well, I guess Aethergust can put the Thorns back on top from the stack, but it doesn't feel that good. Go down to 2 negate. Or do we even want the negates? I like the Mass Finette because we can take their Cavaliers. We pull an Omnath. That seems like one of the weaker cards here, but I don't know. And I go down to 2 Veil of Summers. We only have 2 seconds left, so it says 12, but I'm going to assume that we have 2. This is not the sloggiest of slogfests that this meta produces. Oh, we got the turn 2 Risen Reef again. That's really cool. It's a lot of red mana, though. We could use some more blue, but... Oh, chat, I just clicked the wrong one, and now everything about our lives is super sad. Super sad. I guess I was trying to play faster after last time, and I just skipped my turn 2 effect. Oh, and there goes our Risen Reef. There goes the Risen Reef, chat. Bye. I mean, maybe they take Cavalier of Thorns? No, they don't. I mean, this is still a turn 4 Cavalier if we... if Llanowar survives, but oh boy, jeez, that was so bad. I actually kind of feel like just scooping right now. But I won't do that. They know we have Thorns, so I think I play that first. It feels, yeah, it feels like playing Thorns here and then Gale's next turn is fine. Keep them guessing, ramp ourselves. I'm gonna get the one that's a forest, because that's really good with Nissa. If they end up playing a Rejuvenator here, which seemed unlikely because they played nothing on turn 3, although I guess they had Temple of Malak on that turn, we would have wanted the evasive guy, but... Okay, I'm actually going to Cavalier of Gales right here. See what we find. This takes us off blue, though, so let's play this first. It's going to take us off blue, too, because we only have 3. Okay, we're going off blue either way. So we're going to Cavalier. Did they bring in counter magic here? Oh, Noxious Grasp. Okay. I think we want the Reef back on top. Get back that reef that they stole from us. Omnath doesn't do a whole lot right now, because they have nothing for us to kill, and buffing up guys slowly seems worse than drawing lots of extra cards. So let's go ahead and put that guy right into our hand, then we'll put back a couple of lands. The cool thing about this is that now the information from that is gone, from the cards that were revealed. Okay, we are no attacks. We're just going to run down the harbor, and then actually Paradise Druid, I think, because if we end up attacking, she's 2 more power than Leafkin Druid's 0. Alright, so we know what we're hitting off this. Oh, right, also we have a Risen Reef for drawing, so we don't want to play the Leafkin up because of that. Alright, let's put that guy out. Let's drop this one. I'm pretty sure opponent is not representing instant speed board wipes here, because those aren't really a thing that I have to vary as far as I'm aware. We're just going to run this one out because we have lots of card draw in this deck, so I'm not going to sandbag the land. There's Field of the Dead, there's Cavalier of Thorns, Cavalier of really good against Cavalier of Gales, Cavalier of probably finds you your 7th line with a unique name, so it gets you a 2/2. Now I kind of wish we had that Omnath because we could have blown up Thorns. That was a pretty dead draw. Fishing with everything we can get in for 4. Take them to 9. That feels really bad. No attacks, opponent. Notably, Omnath would not kill Cavalier of Thorns, but if you swing with Cavalier of Thorns, or with Cavalier of Gales into Cavalier of Thorns, then Omnath, that deals an extra 3 damage, killing off their Cavalier. Alright, Risen Reef is a good card, so I've heard. Can't confirm for myself because I missed turn 1 untapped land to play it on turn 2, so I don't know, but... Oh yeah, I feel like we would be in firm command of this game had I not misclicked that land. Second Cavalier of Thorns. I mean, we have outs. We have things like Mass Manipulation, which just is the blowiest of blowouts at the moment. We're gonna let this in. I want to hold up as much mana for Crassus and Mass Manip as possible. That feels really bad. Alright, so we've got like a turn here. I mean... Okay. I think we have to chump with Cavalier of Gales. Not for chump value. I mean... Okay, yeah, it is a Yarok deck. So it seems like the time to do that. I'll get stuff on top of their deck, but we're about to die anyways, so we're going to go... Oh, right. We're going to go pass. We're going to go block. This will give us a scry, which will help us find anything relevant. I think we'll let that one in. Go to 11. Keep the Mana Dork around. That seems good. If they have Disfigure or something for the Llanowar Elf, or actually it would work on the Cavalier of Gales too, that's fine. We have Veil of Summon. We're getting a card out of their hand. I don't know why they would have Disfigure in there really with what their deck plan is, but, you know. I guess they could Obnix Lys's Wrath, but they would have, you know, Obnix Lys's Cruelty, they would have done that anyways because it would have, you know, been enough to kill or exile our Cavalier on its own. Well, I really like that scry. Because that's just another Brainstorm for us. They put Yarok on top. That is not a surprise. Unfortunately, Veil of Summer does not counter Yarok. Shoot. That's a counter Risen Reef either. We're at 2 ropes here, which is notably twice as many as we ever had in the last game. So our fast play is paying off in that way. So yeah, there's that at least. We're improving in our own ways. Yeah, this isn't terrible or anything. Yeah. Alright, so we're pretty much on Mass Manip or Bust. Actually, even Mass Manip probably doesn't do it now because they got so many zombies off the Yarok. But we do have an additional 3 draws. 4 draws because of Risen Reef. I say his opponent draws their entire deck. Yeah, there are 13 cards. Oh wait, no, but some of that is because of the Cavalier of Thorns. They haven't actually drawn 13 more cards than we have. I really wish that our opponent's deck had more triggers. That would make it feel more powerful. As it is, the 10 zombies and the Risen Reefs. And, we probably should have actually cycled Veil of Summer there. That was my bad not doing that. Although if they got a counter this, I'm really happy we did. Alright, well let's cycle it now. Draw a card. We will trigger... Actually, we're going to trigger Risen Reef first, because I don't care about cheating the land into play. I just want to dig one deeper. Mass Manip. Alright, let's see if we can get there. Put back Leafkin and probably Omnath. Or just... I mean, it's a tapped land. We're not playing this for a bit yet anyways. We're going to put them back like that so that we can do this. Scry away Leafkin. Alright, how much mana do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we can take 2 things. We get Cavalier of Thorns and Yarok. Or we can get a not very impressive Crassus. Just kind of get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, okay. So, this is not exactly how we wanted to draw this up, but... Oh, did I, Oh, we're missing the blue. Shoot, because we paid triple blue already. Okay, so in that case, I guess we do this for x equals 6. Alright. Looks like we were 1 turn too late on the Mass Manip there. They still would have been able to get all this stuff out with the Yarok, but we would have gotten both their Cavaliers of Thorns. And yeah, now we're... like, our opponent just made 6. Now they're going to make 12 more. We're not going to sit through those. I respect your time more than that, chat. Alright, so that didn't go too well. We learned that there are 2 buttons when you play a Shockland. One of them says pay 2 life, the other one says enters tapped, and you're supposed to click enters tapped when you have, or you're supposed to click pay 2 life when you have a Llanowar Elf in your hand that you want to ramp out a turn 2 Risen Reef with, instead of getting it thought erasured. Like a dork. So anyway, not the best record today. Made a couple of small misplays and a few really gigantic ones there. But, you know, that's Magic. We're not here to be the best. We're here to learn how to be better. And I think we're doing that. So thank you very much for joining me, everyone. Thank you for the for sharing this time. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down. Let us know in the comments what you think, what you would like to see improved, what we're good at, what we're not good at, and we will see you the next time here at the Tiger's Den. This is Ben, signing off for tonight.